Welcome back to another video, gentlemen. Today I want to talk about going all in. I heard a quote a few years ago from Vincent van Gogh where he says, "I put my heart and my soul into my work, and in the process I've lost my mind." And I love that quote. And every successful person that I've personally met and that I've observed, one common trait they all have is they are all the way in, obsessed with what they do, fully immersed in it, drowning in it. They eat it, live it, breathe it. And you see, the problem with a lot of people, when they start pursuing something and they start getting invested and their work is starting to consume their life, they hear a comment from a family member, a friend, who say, "You've changed. You know, you're not the same guy we used to know. You're boring now," or this or that. And they hear this comment and they think, you know what, maybe I have changed. Maybe I'm morphing into some monster right now. Maybe I'm working too much. You know what? You're right. Maybe I should just quit this and just continue doing my job so I can spend more time with you guys. And they drop their dream. Or they say, you know what? I'll work less hours just to make this person happy. To go far in anything, you have to be obsessed. You have to be. Because obsession is what breeds incredible results. It's what takes you from here to here. And I used to think as long as you work hard, that's okay. No, hard work ain't enough. You gotta be all the way in. Work harder than anyone. You see, some people, the moment they start to feel like they're working hard, they think, okay, let me give myself a pat on the back. I've worked hard today. Let me chill. But someone else is going the extra mile. Someone else out there's putting in an extra 2 hours. Someone else out there's reading more books. You've got to be all the way in. And that's what I aspire to do in my life every single day. I'm preaching, but I'm also practicing what I'm preaching. Because I used to make the mistake of thinking, just work hard. No, be obsessed. If you're not hearing those comments from people, "Oh, you're working too much," why don't you just take a break? Just take a break. If you're not hearing these comments, the chances are you're not going as hard as you could be going. And remember, there's a difference between average and exceptional. You know, do you want to be an average musician or an exceptional musician? Do you want to be an average trader or an exceptional trader? You know, because there's levels to this. And people aren't speaking about this. People are just speaking about work hard. But where do you want to be ranked? Do you want to be the Lionel Messis and Ronaldos of the world? Or do you want to just be playing semi-pro? Right? And so obsession is good. And I remember hearing a quote from Will Smith a few years ago where he says, there's a certain delusional quality that every successful person has to have. You almost have to be not there in the head. A little bit fucked up. People thinking, nah man, this guy's lost it. All he does is this. And I don't mean neglect your family and stop, showing them any attention, or your spouse, of course not. But people need to be recognizing the fact that this guy is all in. He ain't joking about this trading thing. He ain't joking about his clothing line. He ain't joking. He's fully committed. Don't be guilt-tripped, blackmailed by people because they see you working hard. And I'll tell you this, a lot of people often envy you, and that's why they make those comments, because they wish they were doing what you're doing right now. Because people admire someone who works hard, and so they might see you and they might think, fuck, I wish I was him. But they don't want to do the work, so they'll say things like, I think you should just relax, come out with us. They want to derail your focus. They want to push you away from your goals. Now, of course, I'm not saying don't have a social life and meet your friends. Of course, that's important. But at a certain point in your life, especially if you're a guy in his 20s, you gotta be all the way in. I'm sorry. If you're in your 20s and you don't have kids, you're not married, you don't have a house, that's your time to go all in. Utilize it. It's an advantage. Because when you're 45, 50, 55 and you got kids, a house, mortgage, it ain't the same anymore. So don't be the kind of person that says, okay, you know what, you've told me I work hard, let me just drop this. No, Be like, yeah, you know what? I am working hard. I am obsessed with this because I have a dream of making something of myself. I want to be one of the best in the world. I don't want to just fiddle around with this thing. You know, when you're in love with your mission, when you're in love with your craft, time will fly by. And then you look at the clock and you look at your watch and you're like, shit, I've worked so long today. Because you love what you do. And you want to master it. And every minute is enjoyable. In the beginning it might not be this way, and I'm telling you from my experience, in the beginning it wasn't like this. When you're shit at something, it's not enjoyable. But when you get to that position, what do they call it? When you get to that zone, that mental space in your head where you're just loving every second of training, every pull-up, every hour on the market, back testing. When you get to that point, you don't want to stop. You want to keep going. Obsession breeds success. Stop feeling upset. Don't let people guilt trip you and tell you, oh, you're working too hard. No, you got to work hard, because when you get to the other side, and by the way, success is a never-ending thing, so I don't believe in a finish line, but when you drastically improve your life and you get to a point where your family's in a bigger house, you're driving the car of your dreams, you're flying out to different places every week, do you think your family's going to be complaining about the fact that you worked hard? No, because their life's completely changed. So if they say these comments, be like, yep, cool, it's exactly what I'm doing. I know where I'm going, trust me. And keep going. Don't be like, oh, okay guys, I guess you're right. Maybe I do need to stop. Your will to win, as Ed Milet says, should not be up for sale. The moment you hit a little bit of adversity, someone says something, you're like, oh, okay, you can have it. I don't want this thing anymore. I don't want this dream. I know so many people that give up when they hear a comment like that from their spouse, mom, dad, brother. As they say, the graveyard is the richest place in the world, because in the graveyard there were millions of people with goals, dreams, ambitions that were never executed. Think about how many millions of people have lived and died, and how many had goals, dreams, how many wanted to be an astronaut, a pilot, a doctor, a world-class pianist, right? Playing the piano. How many had these big ambitions? But someone said something along the way, and they were like, you know what? I guess you're right. Maybe I need to stop. And they carried on doing something mundane that they hated doing. Alright? Obsession is necessary. Obsession is good. You gotta be all the way in. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. And with that note, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.